Woo! What do you think? Woo! Hoo-wee! What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. You know what sucks? I actually already recorded this once, and unfortunately, my cell phone died right as I was finishing it, and well, it didn't save it. So now I've got to go ahead and start over and re-record it. Now, I'm out here in just a t-shirt because I'm an idiot. It's about 32 degrees right now. Thank God I've got the fire pit that's right here. I still don't know how they did it on Naked and Afraid where they're all like in the winter and stuff. That was some crazy shit. But anyway, I'm going to say tonight, interesting day. I'm going to start out with this because I'm kind of pissed. I don't understand a couple of things today. Here it is. We are Dallas Cowboy fans. We are Dallas Cowboy fans. We love to watch our team. There are 17 regular games. 17 regular games. And we want to see our team when they're doing well. I get it. The Cowboys were kicking ass. Minnesota was done. It was garbage time. I get that. But here it is. The Dallas Cowboy fan base is the biggest fan base in the world. We're all enjoying watching the game. I get it. If it were the last 5 minutes of the game, sure, by all means, go to another game. But we were talking about going from the Cowboys versus Minnesota, an 8-1 team going against the Dallas Cowboys that were trying to rebound from the Green Bay Packers, and we leave that game to go to Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. There were only 3 games on. I'm sorry. I don't care about Cincinnati playing Pittsburgh if that's the only game that's on. We care about them boys. That was some bullshit. You know, oh, we're getting slaughtered by somebody. Of course, by all means, they're going to show all that. But you're going to take away a quarter and a half of the game and we're enjoying it? That was just wrong. NFL, you guys did us dirty. You did us dirty. Come on. And don't give me this stuff, oh, well, the ratings were bad, so we needed to go to get the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cincinnati to save them. Come on, man. Y'all have it in for them boys. Okay, so let me say a couple of things because we've got the Odell Beckham Jr. situation that's going on. Odell, who Jerry Jones said before the game that they looked to talk to him after Thanksgiving, you know, because right now the Cowboys are on the way back to Dallas. It's a short week. We got to take on the New York Giants, who failed today and are having egg on their face. But be that as it may, that's their problem. Then after the Cowboys kicked ass, then you saw Odell basically like, you know, the eyes and all that. I can't remember the exact quote and stuff, but if you watch my earlier videos, it's in there. So he's like, wow, you know, you got to look at it and say, if you're Odell, you see the Giants crash and burn. They play outdoors in New York where you've been there, done that. And you say, Daniel Jones is not that great of a quarterback. So you look at Daniel Jones, then you look at the Dallas Cowboys and you see we the boys, they go up on the road and destroy the Minnesota Vikings. You see Dak Prescott and everything else throwing the football. So you say, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones. Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones. And I believe that Jerry Jones, what he should do is say, you know what, Odell, why don't you come on down for Thanksgiving down here? I know you got some family down here in Texas. How about you come on down and you hang out in my suite here? You know what? And if you come on in here, I tell you what, We'll get you a suite for all your family and your whole entourage. That way you can look at both teams right here together. and you can come in here and make your decision where you're going to sign on the dotted line with the Dallas Cowboys. That's what he should do. Because we know Jerry Jones is a salesman. And then hopefully the Cowboys shellac the Giants right now. Because the Cowboys went from being in third place, vaulting past the Giants back into second. Now here's what's kind of amazing too to me. The Eagles, congratulations. You ended up beating the Colts on the road. You got lucky in the end. I'm not going to lie to you. Jalen Hurts made a great touchdown run and everything else. You won the game. So, you know, shout out to you. But you look like ass. You did not look like the best team in football. I know you only have the one loss, you know, to the Washington Commanders, which you lost to highbrows. What I don't understand is this. I didn't see any of you Eagle fans till after you won. Normally you're in there all the time when your team is winning and everything else. But then you guys start coming in and start talking smack and say, well, you know what? We 8-1. We won. We got the best record in football, this, that. We did you a favor by beating Minnesota. We did you a favor. You got lucky to win against the Colts. You might want to take a slice of humble pie and be happy that you got away with that victory because you did not look good. You really missed Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert was definitely the engine that made that offense run. And you definitely missed Jordan Davis. You got Ndamukong Suh. He did have one good play in there. But you're playing against old-ass Matty Ice. But here it is, all of these damn Eagle trolls that are coming in here talking about, you know, we own the Cowboys. You own the Dallas Cowboys backups. Backups. So back your ass on up. Dak Prescott, just like he owns Kirk Cousins, he owns your ass too. So get it out. Get away from me with that garbage. Get away from me, that garbage. We'll see where it goes. But your team is not trending in the right direction right now. Just saying. Now, game balls. Oh, so Jerry Jones, I'm sorry. So Jerry, actually, we got it earlier. Jerry Jones basically has said, you know, it's time to sit down with Odell and get this thing together, and it'll be after Thanksgiving. Like I said, I think it should be at Thanksgiving. So let's go on to game balls here with the Dallas Cowboys. It's cold out here, and I don't know how much gas I got left in here. Now I got the charge cable hooked up, so that way I ain't got to worry about this shutting down. So that's the good news. All right, so let's say my quarterback, Dak Prescott, 276 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions. And I know what you guys are saying. Well, how come we didn't throw for 450 yards? That's garbage. That's an average quarterback. Okay, let me give you a little taste of something. In 2014, the best year that Tony Romo had, a year that he should have been actually an MVP candidate, when the Dallas Cowboys should have been in the NFC Championship game, but the officials, kind of like CBS, the NFL screwed us today, they kind of screwed us with the catch, no catch. Do you know in that year, Tony Romo threw for 34 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions with only 3,700 yards? To put that in perspective, 2 years before, oh, and the team was 12-4. 2 years before, he threw for 4,903 yards. 31 TDs and 19 interceptions. So let me make you understand. In 2014, he only had 2 games that he had to throw for 300 yards. 2. He had 34 TDs, 9 interceptions, with 1,300 yards less. Why? Team was balanced. He was getting a yard more per completion. That is the name of the game. That is what I want to see every week. I don't want to see Dak having to throw 45 times. Typically, I think the Cowboys, when Dak has to throw over 45 times, or something like 6-14 or something like that, it's a losing record. You want to be balanced. Dak did his job, not only with his arms, but also with his legs, picking up some valuable first downs. Shout out to Dak Prescott. He gets a game ball. Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is our playmaker. He is Alvin Kamara from a couple of years ago. And this is one of the things I said about if you're going to throw the ball a lot, what you need to do is you need to use Tony Pollard and the short passing game as a elongated handoff. You want to get Tony Pollard the ball in space because he can make moves like nobody else. He is more effective when he's got open field to make people miss. He can drive a little bit, try and get you some tough yards, but that's not his forte. But Tony Pollard, 2 TDs, 109 yards, 109 yards receiving, 70-some yards on the ground. Dude was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Big cog in the Dallas Cowboys having over 450 yards of total offense. So somebody asked me, or a couple of people asked, well, offense doing what they did today, do we need Odell Beckham? And I'm going to say yes, because check this out. If you take CeeDee Lamb, you take Michael Gallup, you take Noah Brown, and you throw in a little Jalen Tolbert. If you take all the yards combined put together, you got 136 yards in receiving. Tony Pollard had 109. You do need that other guy to help open up things, that other playmaker guy. We didn't have a lot of drops today. We had the one in the end zone with Dalton Schultz. But the receivers, they did their job. And I'm okay that they spread the ball around because ultimately that depth of 1,000 cuts is what you want to have with your offense. You want to distribute the ball all over the place. Now, a guy who's been much maligned in here, Zeke Elliott. And if you look at the stats, you'll see 15 rushes, you'll see 2.8 yards. But a lot of those were tough yards, short yardage situation, goal lines. And for Zeke Elliott wearing the knee brace, a big-ass knee brace, which is going to slow you down. It's going to protect the leg, but it's going to slow you down. Getting 2 touchdowns. You got to understand, Zeke is that battleship that's softening up the shore and wearing out people for Tony Pollard to do all those wonderful things. I got to give Zeke Elliott, who manned up with a bum leg and still got those 2 touchdowns. Bam! He gets one. How about the offensive line? The offensive line, now here's a couple things. I have to say Kellen Moore did his job today. Kellen Moore, because we ran the ball more, because we weren't doing such long developing pass plays, the longer the pass play goes, the more chances you have of it being a holding penalty. When you're running the football, it's a lot harder to hold. It does happen, but it's a lot harder. Now, they ended up kicking Tyler Smith to guard, and they brought in Jason Peters to play tackle. Tyler Smith is kind of slowed down a little bit. Maybe he's hit that rookie wall and things like that. But he's better suited being at that guard right now because he's got those young legs. He can get to the second level. He can pull a lot better. You just need Jason Peters to be able to set that edge and slow down that outside guy. And the big guy can do that. The offensive line had a great game. They kept Dak Prescott upright. They ended up opening up the holes. They did their job completely. And they dominated the Vikings. Just dominated. That offensive line gets a game ball. And it's hard not to give everybody a game ball when you have a 40-3 shellacking. But let's go to the defense. Because chicks, they dig the deep ball and they love the D. Fence. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, who took it personally. I did a video with Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan doing where he took it personally, where, you know, people would say things and all that. Yeah, and went out and beat the crap out of him. That was Micah Parsons, okay? He literally said, Kirk Cousins, give me them chains, boy. Give me them chains. He snatched them chains right off his ass with 2 sacks. 2 sacks. And as you can see, when he goes, the defense goes. He scared the hell out of us, and this is when, you know, of course, CBS and the NFL take the game away. Right when Micah Parsons gets hurt, we don't know what's going on. I'm scrambling, trying to get the game. Thank God, at least DirecTV ended up having it not on the Sunday ticket, but they had it on another channel. Thank God, at least I finally found it. Micah Parsons, they said, was doubtful to come back. He comes back and gets a couple more pressures. I'm like, what is he doing back in here? That guy is a raging bull. In fact, I think I'm going to talk to Tracy about Micah Parsons, the raging bull, or something like that. You know, it's got to be something like that because he's a beast. 2 more sacks. He's up to 10 on the season. Freaking insane. He has got 23 sacks right now. At this point in Lawrence Taylor's career, I think Lawrence Taylor had 17 his first 2 full seasons. Insane. He, of course, gets a game ball. But here's the thing. The whole defense took it personal that people were saying, you can't stop the run. You suck. It's the Achilles heel. Blah, 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 blah. 2 weeks in a row, 200 yards. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? They took it personal, and they shot down Dalvin Cook. About the only bright spot for the Minnesota Vikings was 11 carries for Dalvin Cook, where he got 72 yards. I think it was 6.8 yards a carry, but that was it. That was it. They didn't do anything else anywhere. And the whole secondary, Diggs, who almost had that ball, it was so close, almost had a pick, but shut down Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, who skied up and took the ball away from the defender, getting the victory for Minnesota last week. You know what you're going to say tomorrow. Well, Minnesota had the emotional win last week, so they had the letdown or the trap game today. Ew, shut up. Shut up. And Skip Bayless, I don't want to hear none of this. My Dallas Cowboys. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear it. And Stephen A. Smith, I want to hear what you got to say. I want to hear what you got to say. Because we know you actually like the Cowboys. And don't act like I wasn't the one that had the video of you all hugging up on Jerry and Stephen Jones. And I said, get a room. Don't make me pull it out. I'll pull it out. 2019, I caught you. That's when you changed your tune about, well, I just don't like Cowboy fans. It's Jerry and Steven I'm good with. Yeah, I know you were good with. I got the tapes. I got the tapes. They shut him down. Adam Thielen. Pah! Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins had 105 yards passing. And what's funny is they were actually talking about Kirk Cousins. He's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Is he now? Is he now? Shout out to the secondary. But also, I almost forgot, the defensive line who shut down and held Minnesota under 100 yards running the football. It wasn't just Micah Parsons with sacks. You had Dorrance Armstrong get 2. You had D-Law with the possible fractured foot and a hurt knee. D-Law got himself a sack. You got Dante Fowler. Wow, Dante Fowler with the sack. And for good measure, sprinkle in a little bit of Jaron Curse. 7 freaking sacks by the Dallas Cowboys. They lead the league in sacks right now. Wow. That kind of evens out. It kind of evens out the Cowboys because last week they only got 2. They got 7 this time. They've been averaging about 4 a week, so they're still averaging, let's see, 16 plus 4 would be 30, 60, 62, let's see, maybe 32, 64. They're on pace for about 68 sacks for the season. Not quite that 72, that's the NFL record, but they're still doing pretty good. Anyway, be that as it may, that defensive line gets a game ball. Now, I'm going to get to my final one here. Now, before I get to that final one, a bunch of you guys have been asking me about my shirts, okay? Like today I had Them Boys Make Me Drink. We got Paula Bettis' shirt that's in there that says, we love them boys, remember that, okay? My beautiful wife is making the shirts. So here it was, after Brett Maher got screwed and had to kick 2 field goals, 60 yards back to back. I said, honey, I need a shirt that says Brett Maher kicked a 120-yard field goal. And here it is, like that. If you are interested in any of the shirts that I have, just email me, cowboysmark94@gmail, and then that way I'll pass it on to Tracy so she can get you hooked up on the shirt and stuff like that. But this was crazy. I've never seen this before. Because you know how everybody always like, hurry up, get to the line, snap the ball. Okay, too late. You can't challenge it. How the hell was it we lined up for the field goal? They kicked the field goal. The referees all say good. There was no whistle. And it seemed like 30 seconds later we heard, oh, they're reviewing the play. What? Didn't they radio down and say, stop the play because we're reviewing it? So are you telling me that after the play was gone, you could actually go back and correct the call? Because there's a lot of mistakes that you guys have made that should have been overturned, but you said, well, the play was snapped and we can't go back. But you just did against the Cowboys. So does that mean in the future when you guys screw up a call and the other team's already snapped it, you can stop and go back? Because that's what you did to us. Because you had Brett Maher kick a 60-yarder, and shout out to Brett Maher, because here's what's funny. We as fans, when they made the final cuts, when they kept Cooper Rush, and people were like, man, we need Will Grier for backup, man. I don't want to ever see Cooper Rush playing. Cooper Rush, I want you guys to listen to me carefully. People say you just don't like Cooper Rush. No. I think Cooper Rush should be our MVP right now. Because had Cooper Rush not won those 4 games, right now we're sitting at 7-3. Guys, we could be 3-7 if it wasn't for Cooper Rush. Remember that. Remember that, because we've seen that shit happen with Brandon Wheaton and Matt Castle. But for Brett Maher to kick a 60-yard field goal and come back and kick another one, he gets the game ball. And finally, let me say, the coaching. Dan Quinn turned that shit around from last week, found a way to stop the run, got his defense motivated and pissed off, and they did their job. To Kellen Moore, who understood, I'm going to be balanced this week, and ended up basically having 15 carries for Zeke Elliott, 15 carries for Tony Pollard, and ended up having a balanced offense that did the job. And Mike McCarthy for getting everybody in the position to win. And there you go. It's been a long, long video here, and I've done this now twice. And I'm out here freezing my ass off because I don't have my sweatshirt on because I wanted you to see my t-shirt. Okay? But that's all I have to say for you guys, and at least this time, the phone's not going dead on me. So remember, tell the people you love, all of them. Don't skip out. Life is too short and life is too precious. Tell the ones you love that you love them, because you might not get the chance again. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate you all being here and being part of my live stream and being part of me and my life. I love you. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow.